Hello and welcome. My name is Alan. Today we're going to take an analysis of the lyrics to the song Fuck the Police by N.W.A. This before we get into this though, we're going to be taking a look at some history here because I want y'all to understand this didn't come out of nowhere as this fuck the police, man. No, there is some reasoning for this. um, Reason it was so prevalent as a song. I can't remember the exact year it came out, but I think it was released in the late 80s. Let's see, do you have the date it was out? 88. Okay. The album was released in 88. So, yeah, right around in there in that time period. Uh, but it's an interesting song, and it's from a buildup of years of issues with the way police dealt with many individuals of color, individuals that were not white, did not look or act the way the police wanted them to. You had things such as Grandmaster Flash and the Furious Five releasing The Message. That song itself deals with issues on the street. It comes out earlier, 1982, and yeah. 1982, the album charts fairly high. Um, Track listing. I'm trying to see sample credits. People who played on it. The album charts. Let's see. Do you have? According to music journalist Tom Brahan, the message was a singles plus filler cash in that proved a fascinating time capsule of rap's early attempts with the album format as well as full length, blah, blah, blah. A called it the ultimate peak. Essentially, it was what was going on the streets, is what I'm trying to get to. Yeah. Uh, Reviewing it in 82 for the New York Times, Robert Palmer called the message the. Held the message as the year's best album and explained that while the emerging rap genre has been criticized for confining itself to bragging and boasting, the message is different. It's a gritty, plain spoken, vividly cinematic portrait of black street life, social realism, was rarely worked well in a pop music context, but the message is an utterly convincing cry of frustration and despair that cannot be ignored. Um, it was Robert Christgau ranked it as the 21st best album of 1982 in his list. In Chris Gow's record guide for the 80s, he wrote that although she's fresh and is the only instant killer, each song's attempt to experiment and touch a lot of bases with blah 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 blah. But yeah, this part right here, talking about street life. I think I did a review on the lyrics for it. They talk about broken glass and the tough struggles of the early 80s. So yeah, you're already dealing with a lot of issues in the late 70s, early 80s. Now, I think this one released afterwards in 92, but it's another example of the issues we came across with the conflict, the racial conflicts, especially between cops and people of color. Because, yeah, released in 1992 from the album Body Count, Cop Killer is a heavy metal album for Body Count and Ice-T, who sang on it and everything. So yeah, the album itself was of course criticized by the first George Bush as well as his vice president Dan Quayle. Ice-T has referred to it as a protest record, and he eventually recalled the album and re-released it without the inclusion of the song, which itself was given away as a free single. So yeah, the president of the time, George H.W. Bush, was like, this is unacceptable, it's attacking our boys in blue. Yeah. Ice-T, who wrote the song's lyrics, referred to Cop Killer as a protest record, stating that the song is sung in the first person as a character who is fed up with police brutality. Ice-T has also credited the Talking Heads song Psycho Killer with partially inspiring the song. Another great song, by the way. I think I did a reaction or an analysis to the lyrics for it. But yeah, Cop Killer was written in 1990 and had been performed live several times, including at the 1991 Lollapalooza tour before it had been recorded in the studio. So it's something he had already created and everything, sung, performed. And this is before the LA riots, which is perhaps one of the biggest moments of issues going on in the racial conflict between American cops and people of color. I was there for the LA riots. Not in LA. I mean, I was alive. I saw it happen. I was a 12-year-old boy. Well, 11. It was just before I turned 12. But the 92 Los Angeles riots, also called the South Central riots, the Rodney King riots, or the 1992 Los Angeles uprising, were a series of riots and civil disturbances that occurred in L.A., California. Now, what was so, as we've already been discussing, the police were brutal towards individuals of color. Rodney King and the beating the police gave him. And ultimately, the fact that even though they did go to trial, they were found not guilty would spark the riots. Yeah. It's crazy. Y'all, I listen to and I see people go, Black Lives Matter was just a riot. Motherfucker. They were kind and peaceful compared to this. This was a riot. Um, but yeah, end of April, beginning of May, 1992, unrest would begin in South Central LA on April 29th after a jury acquitted 4 officers of the LAPD charged with using excessive force in the arrest and beating of Rodney King. The incident had been videotaped and by a bystander and was heavily broadcast in various news and media outlets. So we saw this footage. It was 4 policemen with their batons. They had drug him out of his vehicle and they were just beating him. Rodney King was on the ground, they were going crazy on him with their batons. They are put on trial for excessive force, but of course are acquitted. They're found not guilty. And when that happened, even though we had the footage, we saw how it happened, there was an explosion of violence. Rioting took place in several areas of LA metropolitan area as thousands of people rioted over 6 days following the verdict's announcement. Widespread looting, assault, and arson occurred during the riots, which local police forces had difficulty controlling. The situation in the LA area was resolved after the California National Guard and the U.S. military and several federal law enforcement agencies deployed more than 10,000 of their armed first responders to assist in ending the violence and unrest. All in all, we saw 63 deaths, 2,383 injuries, over 12,000 arrests, and $1 billion in damage in 1992. So, yeah. that it's just crazy. It would become the most destructive period of local unrest in U.S. history. Koreatown, situated just to the north of South Central LA, was disproportionately damaged. Much of the blame for the extensive nature of the violence was attributed to LA Police Chief Daryl Gates, who had already announced his resignation by the time of the riots for failure to de-escalate the situation and overall mismanagement. But yeah, before the release of the tapes, minority community leaders in LA had repeatedly complained about harassment and use of excessive force against their residents by LAPD officers. Gates, the chief of the LAPD from 1978 to 1992, which he resigned because of the riots, has been blamed for the riots. According to one study, scandalous racist violence marked the LAPD under Gates's impetuous leadership. Tempestuous. Kept seeing that as an I for some reason. Under Gates, the LAPD has begun Operation Hammer in April of '87, so 5 years earlier, which was a large-scale militarized push in Los Angeles. So yeah, I don't know why they always feel they need to be militarized. Many people go, well, everything was so much worse back then. Which, okay, you hear the disgusting terms they would throw around, super predator, during the late 80s and early 90s. Because they were like, crime's only going to get worse. Which, of course, it didn't. It actually decreased. And it wouldn't because of fucking political tactics of the cops and everything. No, if you read Freakonomics, it can actually be traced back to life gets a little simpler when women are not forced to have children that they're not going to be able to care for, or make their lives more difficult to even just care for themselves. Turns out, yeah, abortion had a good side. It wasn't any police actions or political gain, political ideologies. No. But anyway, origin of Operation Hammer can be traced all the way back to the '84 Olympic Games in Los Angeles. Under Gates, the LAPD expanded gang sweeps for the duration of the Olympics. These were implemented across wide areas of the city, but especially in South Central and East LA, areas of predominantly minority residents. After the games were over, the city began to revive the use of earlier anti-trade union and anti-syndicalist laws in order to maintain the security policy started for the Olympic Games. The police were more frequently conducted mass arrests of African American youth. Citizen complaints against police brutality increased 33% in the period from '84 to '89. So, yeah. By 1990, more than 50,000 people, mostly minority males, had been arrested in such raids. During this period, the LAPD arrested young black people, more young black people, since the Watts riots in 1965. So, yeah. If you've ever watched my reading of the Dr. King um, of his letters and writings, there's mention of the 65 riots, but of course, King himself is in Alabama, and he's originally from Atlanta, Georgia. Critics have alleged that the operation was racially motivated because it used racial profiling, targeting African American and Mexican American youth. This is why I try to say individuals of color, because unfortunately there is a undercurrent of racism that has always been in America. You can look at the treatment of Native Americans, African Americans, Latin Americans, not just Mexican, Asian Americans. The treatment of Latinos and Africans and Asians, it was like, we don't need you here. You look back in the history of America, there's often times where it's like, we ban this group or that group. Even though we're supposed to be a nation of immigrants, there's always been this strong undercurrent of racism. But yeah, the perception that police had targeted non-white citizens likely contributed to the anger that erupted in the 92 riots. I mean, this is why people say racist issues in America is no longer an issue. Motherfucker. It's still an issue. It has been an issue, and it continues and will continue to be an issue until we get things fully resolved. But there's many motherfuckers who don't want to do that. And so these tensions are always going to blow up. Unfortunately. God, I wish it wasn't true. But it is. It is something that is always going to happen. But to bring a little bit of levity to this, we're going to watch an In Living Color skit starring David Alan Grier and Jim Carrey about the LA riots. Now, In Living Color was a comedy sketch series around in the 90s. It was actually pretty good. This was before Jim Carrey. I'm tripping over my own tongue so bad. This was before Jim Carrey was a big star. So, but this deals with um, the LA riots. Let's go ahead and watch this.
Hi, I'm Rodney King.
And I'm Reginald Denny.
Rodney King, of course, was the black man who was brutally beaten by the cops. Reginald Denny was another motorist. He was drugged from his vehicle and beaten because of just the racial explosion that it caused when his attackers were found not guilty.
And we're here to give you young people a friendly word of advice. Always think before you act.
Right? See, it's not whether you win or lose, but is it over when the fat lady sings? Can't we all just get along?
Staying in school and staying off drugs is fine, but it ain't gonna do you any good at all if you don't have sense enough to stay in your car.
Right? See, we were stupid. We got out of our car. We didn't use our heads. Now look what happened. We may have won the battle, but the early bird got the worm.
Yeah, again, it is just making fun of the fact that they both, after it only got worse after they were out of the vehicle. Like I said, King was drugged from his vehicle. I think the same for Denny. Yeah. It's crazy.
Can't we all just get along?
And your friends are gonna try to tempt you. They're gonna say, hey, come on, get out of your car. What can it hurt? Take it from us.
It hurts. Right? See, it's like Confucius said, he who hesitates can lead a horse to water, but he can't get that bird out of his bush. Can't we all just get along?
So take it from us, Reginald Denny.
And Rodney King, stay in your car.
You wanna drive?
No, man.
Let's talk about it in the car.
We could take the bus.
No, there's people on the bus.
The whole idea, of course, they're supposed to have been beaten so badly that, yeah, the proper cognitive capability is no longer there, is what they're trying to say, so yeah. But anyway, yeah, it's one of those moments. But it gives you I play it just to give you an idea of what the LA riots were like, which, again, this is a culmination of how the police were treating people of color. As a matter of fact, with the LA riots, they're making a movie that is set during the LA riots. And it stars Tyrese, and Ray Liotta. I can't remember the name of the movie. But yeah. It's supposed to be a heist that was happening during the riots, and that's kind of the background of the movie, what it's about. But yeah. So it's supposed to be coming out August 30th this year. So I've been seeing the commercials. But with this said, it leads us back to the song and the lyrics we want to look at. Because I wanted to give you a background, a look at what all was going on. This was before the riots themselves. 88 was when Straight Outta Compton was released. But yeah, the song itself is a great song. It's awesome to listen to. It hits hard. But let's look at the information Genius talks about on the site here. Fuck the Police takes the form of a trial against the LAPD, with Dr. Dre, MC Ren, and Ice Cube as judge, court officer, and witness. Dr. Dre explained the song was created after the members of N.W.A. were forced by police to lay face down in the street with guns to their heads. However, the reason why the police were harassing them was because Eazy-E was doing drive-by shootings on innocent people on bus stops with a paintball gun. So yeah, as Dre explained in the HBO documentary, The Defiant Ones. The song caught the attention of the FBI, which sent a letter to Priority Records about N.W.A.'s album. Although the FBI did not refer to Fuck the Police by name, their letter claimed the album encourages violence against and disrespect for law enforcement officers. Knowing all that happened, I think the law enforcement officers brought it upon themselves. There didn't have to be any violence encouraged. The instrumental heard during the courthouse skit samples Public Enemy's Bring the Noise. And in a 2015 interview with DJ Vlad, DJ Yella claimed the song only took a day to make. And I think you can almost break that down to the fact that it's something they dealt with so often. So yeah, there's a lot of lyrics to it. Anyway, side note, one of the jobs I used to work, they let us put posters up. I had a poster of N.W.A. and I brought it to work and hung it up, and they were like, what does that N.W.A. stand for? You can't have that. You can't have that. I'm like, really? But yeah. Right about now, N.W.A. court is in full effect. Judge Dre presiding in the case of N.W.A. versus the police department. Prosecuting attorneys are MC Ren, Ice Cube, and Easy motherfucking E. Order, 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 Ice Cube. Take the motherfucking stand. Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? So help your black ass. You goddamn right. Well, won't you tell everybody what the fuck you gotta say? Fuck the police coming straight from the underground. A young got it bad 'cause I'm brown and not the other color, so police think they have the authority to kill a minority. Fuck that shit, 'cause I ain't the one for a punk motherfucker with a badge and a gun to be beaten on and thrown in jail. We can go toe to toe in the middle of a cell. Fucking with me, 'cause I'm a teenager with a little bit of gold and a pager. Searching my car looking for the product, thinking every is selling narcotics. You'd rather see me in the pen than me and Lorenzo rolling in a benzo. Beat a police out of shape, and when I'm finished, bring the yellow tape to tape off the scene of the slaughter. Still getting swole off bread and water. I don't know if they or what. Search a down and grabbing his nuts. And on the other hand, without a gun, they can't get none. But don't let it be a black and white one, 'cause they'll slam you down to the street top. Black police showing out for the white cop. Ice Cube will swarm on any motherfucker in a blue uniform just 'cause I'm from the CPT. Punk police are afraid of me, huh? A young on the warpath. And when I'm finished, it's gonna be a bloodbath of cops dying in L.A. Yo, Dre, I got something to say. And we get to the chorus. Fuck the police. Fuck, fuck, fuck the police. Fuck, fuck, fuck the police. Fuck the, fuck the, fuck the police. And we get into the next part here. So we're back in court. Pull your goddamn ass over right now. Oh shit, now what the fuck you pulling me over for? 'Cause I feel like it. Just sit your ass on the curb and shut the fuck up. Man, fuck this shit. Alright, smart ass, I'm taking your black ass to jail. MC Ren, will you please give your testimony to the jury about this fucked up incident? Fuck the police, and Ren said it with authority, because the on the street is a majority. A gang is with whoever I'm stepping, and the motherfucking weapon is kept in a stash spot for the so-called law, wishing Ren was that they never saw. Lights start flashing behind me, but they're scared of it, so they mace me to blind me. But that shit don't work. I just laugh, because it gives him a hint not to step in my path. For police, I'm saying, fuck you, punk. Reading my rights and shit, it's all junk. Pulling out a silly club so you stand with a fake-ass badge and a gun in your hand. But take off the gun so we can see what's up, and we'll go at it, punk, and I'ma fuck you up. Make you think I'ma kick your ass, but drop your gat and Ren's gonna blast. I'm sneaky as fuck when it comes to crime, but I'ma smoke 'em now and not next time. Smoke any motherfucker that sweats me, or any asshole that threatens me. I'm a sniper with a hell of a scope, taking out a cop or two they can't cope with me. The motherfucking villain that's mad, with potential to get bad as fuck. So I'ma turn it around, put in my clip, yo, and this is the sound. Gunshots. Yeah, something like that, but it all depends on the size of my gat. Taking out a police would make my day, but like Ren, don't give a fuck to say. Chorus, fuck the police, fuck the police, fuck the police, fuck the police. So we get back in court, knocking, yeah man, what you need? Police, open up. Aw, shit. We have a warrant for Eazy-E's arrest. And you hear the battering ram. Get down and put your hands right where I can see them. Move. Motherfucker, move now. What did I do, man? What did I do? Just shut the fuck up and put your motherfucking ass on the floor. You heard the man. Shut the fuck up. But I didn't do shit. Man, just shut the fuck up. Eazy-E, won't you step up to the stand and tell the jury how you feel about this bullshit? I'm tired of the motherfucking jacking, sweating my gang while I'm chilling in the shack end, shining a light in my face, and for what? Maybe it's because I kick so much butt. I kick ass, or maybe because I blast. I'm a stupid ass when I'm playing with the trigger of an Uzi or an AK, because the police always got something stupid to say. They put out my picture with silence, cause my identity by itself causes violence. The E with the criminal behavior. Yeah, I'm a gangster, but still, I got flavor. Without a gun and a badge, what do you got? A sucker in uniform waiting to get shot by me or another. And with a gat, it don't matter if he's smaller or bigger. Size don't mean shit. He's from the old school, fool. And as you all know, he's here to rule. Whenever I'm rolling, keep looking in the mirror. And ears on cue, yo, so I can hear a dumb motherfucker with a gun. And if I'm rolling off the 8, he'll be the one that I take out and then get away. While I'm driving off laughing, this is what I'll say. And then we get back to the chorus again. Fuck the police, fuck the police, fuck the police, fuck the police. And then we get to the verdict. The jury has found you guilty of being a redneck, white bread, chicken shit motherfucker. Wait, that's a lie. That's a goddamn lie. Get 'em out of here. I want justice. Get 'em the fuck out of my face. I want justice. Out. Right now. Fuck you, you black motherfuckers. And then they end out, fuck the police, fuck the police, fuck the police. So, I tried to censor it so it wouldn't be too horribly offensive. Because honestly, there's just some words that are unacceptable to say. But, yeah. In essence, we're seeing a trial. The group is putting police on trial for what they've done to them as individuals. And they talk about all the stuff they face. One, I think, that is really prescient to today is where the police bang on the door, open up, police, then they use the battering ram. Who was the young girl that was out and out murdered by that police officer? It was a recent one. She was a young woman. Didn't look like she wasn't beyond her early 20s. She may have even been in her late teens, but yeah. She had called the police. Apparently she does have mental health issues. Her mother called the police and said, look, y'all need to be careful, cautious. I don't want you all to just go in and, shoot her. No. She tried to warn them, look, she's got some mental health issues. Just be kind, treat her carefully. And of course, the young woman wasn't doing anything violent. She was just heating water and trying to explain why she was so concerned, why she had called. And then the police gets an attitude. So yeah, this shit still happens. Not to mention all the other deaths that led up to the Black Lives Matter protests. George Floyd, Michael Brown. What was the kid in Cleveland? Tamil Rice. Young man with the mental issues, had the glasses. I cannot think. He was just heading out for tea. Let's not forget, even earlier, the George Zimmerman thinking he had the right to carry a gun and shoot someone. Or I think it was like a father and son, two white guys shot and killed a guy that was just jogging. Ahmad. It's just hard to remember because there is so many of these events that happen that should never fucking happen. And hell, fucking police even now will kill a white person, shoot them in the fucking face if they're being peaceful. I can't remember the name of the dude, but he was walking in this building. He got down on his knees, put his hands up when the police told him to, and they still shot him in the fucking face. I'm like, motherfuckers, this is why we need to defund the police. There was this call. It should have been reallocation. It should have been explained better. Everybody just assumed it was just take away all funds. No, that's not what they were saying. there's better way these funds could have been used. They don't need funds to buy more anti-tank vehicles. No, there are better ways to resolve issues. But the police, the saying that when you all you have is a hammer, everything looks like a nail, holds true, because when all you have is weapons of offense, everything looks deadly. Yeah. Is there times when violence is necessary? Yes. When your life is in danger. But that's often been used as a fallback just to shoot and kill other people. And it's bullshit. It's why I think there needs to be a federal training program to where they're trained like fucking Marines to know when to hold their fire and when to wait. Because right now, just because they have the weapons, just because they have the badge, they feel superior. And that's not the way things should be. But, yeah. This video's already been over 50 minutes. But we'll go ahead and end this here. As always, educate thyself. Think, read, study, learn. Someone tells you something you have trouble believing, ask them to cite their sources. I'll be putting my links and sources in the description box below the video. Thank you all for watching. I'll see you all in the next one. Until then, later.